Hi everyone, Nicole here, coming to you from Wichita, Kansas with a new yoga flow on Genesis Go. Today we're going to change it up a little bit and get into a new pose that we haven't done yet with these videos. The pose is called Ardha Chandrasana or half moon. Don't worry, I won't make you try to spell it or pronounce it, but we'll get the muscles stretched and warmed up that are necessary to try to start to ease into this. We'll break it down and give it a go. So for this class, all you will need is an open space in your home. With this pose, since it is more focused on some balance and some flexibility, it would be a good idea to have some just wall space in your home that you can use to touch base or use to assist you in the balance. But other than that, we just need you, and we'll get started. All right. Finding a comfortable seated position. Let's begin to settle into the practice here. Hands rest on top of the knees. Shoulders rest on top of the hips. Ears rest on top of the shoulders. So rather than anticipating what comes next, give yourself a chance to be present here. Observe the breath as it comes into the body. And observe the breath as it leaves. Allowing yourself to move moment by moment through this practice. In this moment, observing the air as it comes into the body. And observing the air as it leaves. One more round here. Smooth breath in. And smooth breath out. From here, breathe in, sweep the arms up, look up toward the hands as you roll the shoulders open. Exhale to bring the hands down toward the heart. Take the right hand beside you, sweep the left arm over, looking toward the right hand, reaching through the left side of the waist, pressing down through the left hip, looking underneath the left arm, breathing in. Staying here as you exhale. Bending the elbow, bringing the shoulders upright. Take a breath in, sweep both arms up, look up. Exhale, the hands come down toward the heart. All right, our other side, taking the left hand beside you, looking toward the left hand, reaching the right arm over, reaching down through the right hip as you lift through the right side of the waist, and then maybe looking underneath the right arm. Let the left side of the neck release. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. And bend the elbow, bring the shoulders upright. Take a breath in, sweep both arms up, look up. Exhale, the hands come down toward the heart. All right, let's come on to hands and knees, our tabletop position. I'll get our music going, and we'll get rolling here. All right. Tabletop position, fingers spread. Pressing down through the knuckles, making sure the elbows are straight, toes go straight back. Breathe in with the abdomen and the chest sink down toward the mat, look forward, our cat-cow motion. Exhale, round the back, look toward the thighs as you reach the spine up. And find a neutral spine, tabletop position. Step your right foot forward, we'll come into a lunge to start. Opening up the hip flexors, take your hands to the top of the right thigh. Right foot is flat, toes point forward, shoulders rest on top of the hips. All right, take the right hand to the hip, reach the left arm over. So we're finding length from the left knee through the left hip, through the left shoulder. Again, you can look underneath the left arm if that feels nice on the neck. Let the right shoulder, right elbow soften. Recenter the shoulders with the hips. Take a breath here, sweep both arms up, look up, open the chest. Exhale, hands come down toward the heart. Lower the hands down toward the mat. Curl the back toes, find plank pose. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bring a little bit of motion to your downward facing dog, bending one knee, reaching through the opposite heel. Bending the other knee, reaching through the opposite heel. One more time, each side, bending the knee, reaching through the opposite heel. Last time on the other side to level things out. And coming back to that downward facing dog. Shift forward, lower the knees down to the mat. Hands and knees back to our tabletop position, looking between the hands. Begin our cat-cow, letting the abdomen and the chest sink down toward the mat, look forward. Exhale, round the back, look toward the thighs as you reach the spine up, keeping the elbows straight, sides and neck lengthened. Neutral spine to your tabletop position, that flat back. This time, left foot steps forward, right knee stays down, coming to the lunge, hands to the top of the thighs, the shoulders rest on top of the hips. Find the foundation here, make sure your left toes, left knee are going straight forward. Take your left hand to the hip, your right arm reaches over to add that side body stretch. And the feeling of sliding the right shin toward the back of the mat. Feeling this opening in space from the right hip through the right shoulder, through the right fingertips. One more breath. Recenter the shoulders with the hips. Take a breath here, sweep both arms up, look up. Exhale, hands come down toward the heart. Lower the hands down to the mat, curl the back toes, find plank pose. Hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. Walking the dog out a few times. One knee bends, the opposite heel reaches. And then switching it out, bending the knee, reaching through the opposite heel. Trying to keep the torso of the hips centered with the mat as you do this. One more round each side. Settling back to your downward facing dog. Shift forward, lower the knees to the mat. Bring the knees wide, big toes come together, child's pose to shift back. Forehead rests down toward the mat. Ribs soften onto the thighs. Outside of the hips release. Outside of the shoulders wrap down toward the mat. Full round of breath here. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Lift the hips away from the heels. Come back to that tabletop position. This time we'll lower all the way down onto the mat. Abdomen and chest come down, toes go straight back. 2 rounds of cobra pose. Hands are beside you, elbows reach straight back, toes straight back. Hands stay light in the beginning. Inhale, lengthen the spine to lift the shoulders away from the mat for cobra pose. Just lifting to your comfort in the beginning. Lower down on the exhale, chin comes down to the mat. Inhale, cobra pose, elbows pull back, chest lifts. Exhale to lower down, chin comes down to the mat. Press up hands and knees, tabletop from here. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pressing down through the hands, almost like you're going to stretch the mat away from you, opening the shoulders. Looking back toward the shins, maybe the thighs. Take another breath here. And bending the knees, walk or hop, feet to meet the hands. I'll be walking today. Take a breath in, find your flat back. Keep the knees bent in the beginning, lengthen the spine. Fold forward on the exhale, bring the abdomen to the thighs at the top of the head, release. Inhale, lengthen, find your flat back, keep the knees soft, walk the hands up the legs as you roll the shoulders up and back. Take a breath in, sweep both arms up, look up. Hands come down toward the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale to fold, arms sweep back as you lower down. Take a breath in here, find your flat back. Step one foot back and the other to plank. Shift forward, lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Toes go straight back, elbows reach back, cobra pose. Breathe in here, and press down through the hands to lift higher. Lower down on the exhale. Press up hands and knees or plank, your choice. Hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. Reset, find the foundation through the hands, through the feet. And step the feet so they're touching in your downward facing dog. Reach your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Step your right foot to the hands, left knee lowers, coming to that low lunge position. Hands come to the top of the thigh to lift the shoulders up. Take a breath here, sweep both arms up. Finding space through both sides of the waist. Opening up through the front of the body. Lower the fingertips down. We're staying in this lunge position and just changing the stretch. So now instead of being moving forward, we're actually going to shift the body back. Coming into this hamstring stretch, drawing the top of the foot back, which will add a calf stretch. Try and keep the hips as centered as you can. You can add an additional challenge here. If you want to bring in an IT band stretch, you'll keep your right hand down, bring the left hand across. You're either holding onto the shin or the outside of the foot. Think of lifting the right shoulder away from the hip. You'll feel the stretch from the outside of the shin all the way to the outside of the right hip. All right, take your time, recenter yourself, bend the right knee, shift the body forward. Reach the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Hips lift high as the shoulders press the torso back. Lower the right foot down, full down dog. Notice this difference from the right side to the left. We'll even it out. Step the feet so they're touching in your down dog. Reach your left leg up, three-legged dog. Left foot steps to the hands, right knee lowers. Coming to that low lunge, hands support the body as you lift yourself upright, arms sweep as you're ready. Find that foundation, stability you need. Find the length through the sides of the waist, the opening through the front of the body. Just lower the hands down. Hands come on either side of the foot, starting with the hamstring stretch. Hips shift back toward that right heel. Drawing the top of the left foot back toward you to add the calf stretch. Trying to keep your shoulders, your hips as centered as you can with the mat in the beginning. Added IT band stretch. If you choose, left fingertips will stay down. Right hand comes across, either to the outside of the left shin or the outside of the left foot. Lifting the left shoulder away from the hip. Feeling the stretch along the outside of the left leg. Slow and steady, release the foot, bend the front knee. Left leg will reach up and back, three-legged dog. Arms press you back, hips lift high. Lower the left foot down, full down dog. Take a breath here, reset. And shift forward, lower the knees to the mat. Come all the way down, lower down so that your abdomen and your chest are back down on the mat. Be in cobra pose, breathing in here, rolling the shoulders open, pressing down through the hands, finding a bit more lift. And lower down on the exhale, chin and chest to the mat. To open the shoulders further, take your hands, interlace the fingers behind the back. For this Shalabhasana or locust pose variation, we're starting with the toes, the feet down. Keep the elbows bent initially, lift the elbows or lift the shoulders away from the mat. Find that back bend through the upper body and then begin to reach the knuckles away from the chest. Elbows may straighten, they may not. And stretch through the front of the shoulders, through the front of the arms. Slowly lower down. The elbows, the shoulders roll out. Let one side of the face rest. Take a moment, take a breath here. Bring the chin back to the mat. Press up hands and knees. Bring the knees wide, big toes come together, child's pose to shift back. We'll add a tricep stretch from here. Palms come together, elbows bend, hands move in the direction of the ceiling or toward the back of the neck to stretch through the back of the arms. Finding length from the back of the arm, the elbow through the shoulder, through the side of the waist. Lower the hands down to the mat. Come forward, hands and knees, tabletop position. Okay, so we'll start to work into some of those muscles into the outer hips. It's going to help stabilize us in Ardha Chandrasana. I'm going to start with my left hand, left knee down. Make sure your left index finger is going forward. Step your right foot back into a modified side plank. Left knee stays down, and we're modifying this for a reason. Take your right hand, bring it to the outside of the right hip. These are the muscles that are going to help lift that right leg. Reach through the right heel, draw the top of the foot back, lift the leg so it's hovering. Find stability and space through the sides of the waist. We're going to keep working that muscle. Lower the toes down to the mat, and then the muscle on the outside of the hip lifts the leg, pressing through the heel, almost like you're pressing the outside of the foot into the ceiling. 2 more times. Toes tap down. This muscle is lifting you, so you're trying to keep your body as steady as you can. I know that's easier said than done right now. 1 more time. Toes lower down. Muscles on the outside of the leg work to lift. So now from here, let's come back down, hands and knees. Curl your toes, lift yourself to plank. You can feel this difference through the right side of the body in your plank pose. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now allowing the outer hips to soften. Top of the head releases. Shift forward, lower the knees down to the mat. And we're going to come into that other side. So I'm actually going to turn this way so I can keep facing you. But this time your right hand will be down, right knee is down, right fingertips are pointing toward the top edge of the mat. Keeping your right knee down, step your left foot back, take your left hand to the hip. And we're keeping this in a modified version of plank for a reason. We're working the muscles in the outer hip. This time the left foot draws back, reaching through the heel. Reset things, adjust things as you need to, trying to keep the sides of the waist long and firm. All right, left toes will touch down. In no movement as much as possible through the torso. Lifting the leg, feeling those muscles on the outer hip work as the outside of the foot presses. Lower the toes down. 2 more. Pressing with the outside of the foot like you're pressing the outside of the heel against the ceiling. Lower the toes down. Last one here, keeping the hips steady. Muscles on the outside of the leg work to lift the leg. Lower the toes down, come back hands and knees. I'm going to pivot. Plank pose, toes curl, hips lift up and back. Observe the space. Bend the knees, walk or hop, feet to meet the hands. Take a breath in, find your flat back. Fold forward to release. Breathe in, arms sweep as you rise, palms turn up. Exhale, hands come down toward the heart. And we're going to keep working into those muscles. Left foot steps forward, right foot steps back. Yes, left foot. Hands are on the hips. Find your positioning for warrior 2. Toes and knee are going forward on that left leg. Back leg is straight. That muscle that we worked earlier on the outside of the hip is still helping to center our hips, center our shoulders. Arms will reach out beside you for the warrior two position. Look over the left fingertips. Take a breath here. Strong in the legs. Lower lower both hands down. Right hand will go to the hip, left hand comes to the front of the shin. Triangle pose. We'll start with the hand on the shin, pressing the hand and the shin into one another as you slowly straighten the left leg or begin to straighten. It might not straighten, that's okay. Once you're in this position, you get no pressure on the knee. Hand can stay on the shin. You can be using the wall or fingertips come down to the mat. Torso turns toward the side of the room. Hand can stay on the hip, or right arm can reach the palm centers with the shoulders. Find a comfortable space to look with the eyes, either looking toward the front foot, the wall in front of you, or add the challenge, look toward the top hand. Last breath here. Take the right hand to the hip. Left knee bends, sweep the left arm back, reverse your warrior. Level yourself out, warrior two. All right, take the hands to the hips. Turn both feet toward the walls, heel toe your feet to center, and then step to the top of the mat. Take a breath in, sweep both arms up and look up. Hands come down toward the heart. Okay, our other side, right foot will be forward, left foot steps back. Finding your warrior two position in the legs. Right toes and knee are pointing straight forward. Back leg is straight, toes are at a bit of an angle. Arms reach out beside you, palms are level with the shoulders. You're looking over the right fingertips. Steady yourself, both legs are working together, pressing down evenly through the soles of both feet. Taking the left hand to the hip, lean forward, right hand comes to the front of the shin. Pressing down through the right foot, beginning to straighten the right leg. And it does not have to straighten all the way to count here. Right hand can stay on the shin. Fingertips can come down toward the mat. Left hand can stay on the hip. Sometimes that's a better option, especially if there's discomfort in the side of the neck. So find what works best. You can reach the left arm up if you're feeling comfortable here. Either looking toward the front foot, the wall in front of you, or up at the top hand to add a challenge, add some balance. And take the left hand to the hip, bend the right knee, sweep the right arm back, reverse your warrior. Level yourself out, warrior two. Good work, everybody. Bring the hands to the hips, turn both sets of toes toward the wall that you're facing, heel toe things to center. Step to the top of the mat. Take a breath in here, sweep both arms up. Exhale to fold, arms sweep back as you lower down. Take a breath here, find your flat back. Step the feet back to move through your vinyasa. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Find the back bend that feels nice for you in this moment. Downward facing dog as you're ready. Hips lift, head releases. Take a moment here. All right, from here, shift forward, lower the knees down to the mat. Grab a child's pose position, grab a child's pose position. Grab a drink if you need it. Turn things back on here, and then I'll show you Ardha Chandrasana. So you can see it first, and then you can follow along with me. So Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon pose. We'll come into it from a warrior two position. So the The feet and the leg setup is the same. I'm turning this way so you can see me on this first round. Hand will be on the hip. You'll lean forward, either bringing the fingertips down or you can use the wall, and I'll show you that here in a moment. You'll tiptoe your back leg closer. Right hand comes in front of the foot, outside of the foot presses, just like when we did that side plank variation. You're using those muscles on the outside of the hip. Your left hand can stay on the hip or the arm can reach. Nice. Okay, so I'll show you on the other side with the wall component. Same thing here. You'll have the hand on the hip, fingertips will go to the wall, and then you can kind of walk your hand down the wall as you feel ready. Bottom knee can stay bent, especially if the hamstring's a little bit tight. We'll flow through it and I'll walk you through it. That's where we're going with things. All right, so I'll come back to down dog. We'll all meet back there. And trying not to anticipate too much. Just being in the moment, step by step. Right. First step, bring the feet to touch in down dog. Reach the right leg back, three-legged dog. Step the right foot to the hands, warrior two, spin the left heel, arms windmill into position. Look over the right fingertips. Be patient, be kind. Give this a go. Take the left hand to the hip. Look about a foot in front of your right toes, lean forward, right fingertips come down, back toes tiptoe in. Right fingertips will stay on the mat as your left foot presses. Right knee can stay bent, or you can begin to straighten the right leg. Torso turns in the direction of the wall that you're facing. Left hand can be on the hip or left arm can reach. Play with it a little bit. Slow and steady. Left hand comes to the hip. Right knee bends. Tiptoe your way back. Find that warrior two position. Sweep the right arm back, reverse your warrior. Sigh of relief, you made it. Windmill yourself down, find your way to plank, your vinyasa to downward facing dog. Take the back bend of your choosing. We'll meet back downward facing dog as you're ready. Reset, refocus. Left leg's turned, feet step to touch, reach the left leg up and back. Step the left foot to the hands, right heel spins, warrior two. Start with this pose. Step by step, one pose at a time. Finding that foundation. Right hand comes to the hip. You're looking about a foot or so in front of the left toes as you lean over the left leg. Tiptoe the back leg in. Left fingertips come in front of that left foot. Outside of the right foot presses. Left knee can stay bent or left leg can begin to straighten as you're ready. Right hand can stay on the hip or right arm can reach. Take your time. Be kind to yourself. Take the right hand back to the hip, slow and steady. Left knee bends, right toes tiptoe their way back. Finding that warrior two position, back to home base. Lower the right hand, flip the left palm to reverse. Big breath in. Windmill yourself down, find your way to plank. Move through your vinyasa. You can always go straight back down dog. That's where we'll meet, downward facing dog. Take a fresh round of breath here. Notice the difference in the body. Bend the knees, your choice. Walk or hop, feet to meet the hands. Take a breath in, find your flat back. Fold forward on the exhale. Breathe in, sweep the arms as you rise. Come all the way up, find a back bend. Hands come down to the heart. Bring the hands beside you. Give yourself a moment to observe. Our last vinyasa, breathe in, sweep both arms up. Exhale to fold, arms sweep back as you lower down. Take a breath here, find your flat back. Step one foot back and then the other to move through your last vinyasa. Taking your back bend, and we'll all knee back, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Observe the feelings that come about. Shift forward, lower the knees down to the mat. We'll all come to a seated position from here. Dandasana, staff pose. Legs reach out in front of you. Knees can stay bent here. Feet can stay apart if that feels better for the low back, the hips, or feet to touch, drawing the top of the feet back. Breathe in, sweep the arms up. Fold forward on the exhale. If you aren't able to reach the feet, you can bring the hands to the back of the calves or the back of the knees, whatever feels best. Allow the upper back to release, the shoulders soften down. Find a comfortable space to look with the eyes, either toward the knees, the shins, or toward the feet. Slowly bring yourself upright. So we've stretched the hamstrings, we've stretched the outside of the hips. We're going to add one more fun component here to class today. We'll start with the right leg. Take your right leg across. Just a standard twist to start. Your left toes point straight up toward the ceiling, sole of the right foot is down. Start by taking the left arm, wrapping it around that right leg. Right fingertips come behind you to twist. Nothing fancy just yet. Shoulders stay level. Feeling each section of the spine rotate on top of the previous. So now we get to have a little fun with this. You can stay here in this twist. This is a fine option. You can also take your left hand, bring it to the outside of the right foot. We're back to this kind of IT band outer hip stretch. From here, you'll lean your body back just a little bit. Reach your right foot toward the wall in front of you. Opening up through the shoulders, find this teeter-totter action where you have that center of balance. Right fingertips can stay back to help you with that, or right arm can reach back, palm faces the wall in front of you. Either looking toward that wall that you're rotating toward, or looking toward the backhand. Slowly bend the arms, bend the knee to come back to center. Straighten the right leg. Find Dandasana, staff pose. Breathe here, sweep the arms up. Exhale to fold forward. Finding space between the back ribs. Feeling the length in the spine. So then walk yourself back upright, shoulders on top of the hips. Twisting to our other side, you'll take the left leg, bring it across. Right toes point straight up, right leg is straight. So this is our anchor. It's also going to help us stay balanced and stay upright as we rotate. Right arm wraps around the outside of the left leg. Left fingertips come behind you. Shoulders as level as they can be. Just feeling this rotation, feeling the lengthened space through the spine. You want to give this side a try. Right hand comes to the outside of the left foot. Now this leg does not have to straighten. You can even just toy with having the leg lifted and trying to find that center of gravity. Or left foot presses toward the top edge of the mat. Shoulders turn toward the left side of the room. Left fingertips can begin to lift, or left arm reaches toward the back of the mat. You're looking toward the wall in front of you, or looking toward your left hand. Slowly bend the arms, bend the knee to come back to center. Reach both legs forward, staff pose, just to reset. All right, rather than forward fold, inner thigh stretch, bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to touch. The outside of the hips press down, find the comfortable distance with the legs. You can bring the feet further away from you if that feels better, on the knees, the hips, or closer toward you. Tall through the spine, no pressure on the knees, but you can use the elbows to press on the inner thighs. You can look in the direction of the feet, let the upper back release. Bring the shoulders on top of the hips. Help the knees come back to center. And come onto the back from here. Bend the knees, lower yourself back, holding onto the back of the legs. The shoulders, back of the head rest on the mat. Reach the legs long, reach the arms overhead. Take a full body stretch. Find space from the outside, the ankles, through the hips, through the shoulders, to the top of the head. Bring the knees back in, your choice. Happy baby, or just hugging the knees in. Maybe hands come through the inside of the knees to hold on to the shins. You're taking your happy baby. You're welcome to take the variation that works best for you. I'm going to be staying here. Last time, releasing the legs, reach the arms overhead, legs reach long, full body stretch, low back arches. Back of the head stays light. And then release the arms out to the sides. Feet roll out wide. Your final Shavasana. Eyes move in the direction of the ceiling and the eyelids softly close. Feel the body sink into the mat. Feel the surface of the body become light. Feel how the air is able to slide between those two spaces. The breath moves through the center of the body. Allowing it to expand from the inside outward. Give yourself permission to be here just a few more moments. Knowing that you are doing everything exactly as you should be in this moment right here. Keeping the eyes closed, begin to bring small motion to the hands, rubbing the fingertips across one another to roll out the ankles, small movement to the toes, the feet. Bending the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Roll over onto the right side, right shoulder and hip come onto your mat. And use the hands to press the shoulders upright, coming to a seated position. Whatever comfortable seat feels nice for you. Palms come together. Eyes stay softly closed. Observing this change that you've achieved for yourself in a short period of time. Finding something that went better than you expected in class today. Full breath in, feel the chest expand and lift. Allow the shoulders to release, the chin nods down as you exhale. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me, for allowing me to be part of your practice. Namaste. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you joining in with me, trying something new. Let me know what your thoughts are on class today, and if you enjoyed it, if you'd like to see more of it. If you'd like to see more of any of Genesis's classes or exercises, you can check out their Facebook page or their YouTube channel to see some more yoga videos or more of any type of exercise videos that you'd like to find during this time. Hopefully I will be seeing you again soon. Thank you so much.